Hi, I'm Julia Charity, founder and managing director of Look After Me, the world's first digital hotel. A couple of weeks ago, Lindsay rang me. She's the sales marketing director for Pandora Jewellery. She was travelling to Christchurch on her usual sales run, but all of the traditional hotels were fully booked. She loves staying in them because they are clean and are fully regulated and very comfortable. Lindsay told me she was open to trying something from this shared access economy, like couch surfing or Airbnb, but she was a bit worried because a friend of hers went to stay, and when she arrived the sheets were still hanging to dry, and it was around the time someone had just been murdered, so that was a bit off-putting. I'm proud to introduce to you Look After Me. We're the world's first digital hotel, and we sit right in the middle of the traditional hotels, and we've cherry-picked the best out of hotels, very clean, comfortable accommodation, and the best of the shared access economy, which is freedom, affordability, and access to unique experiences. We specialise in 3- and 4-star accommodation, and so we were able to find Lindsay very nice accommodation, very clean, comfortable, in a beautiful room, and offering a delicious breakfast with decent coffee. We matched her with Karen, and this is the host, and this is the property just south of Christchurch, where she was able to do her sales run. What was really neat was that Karen was able to give her local knowledge, which saved her about 20 minutes on the motorway, and at the end of the day was able to relax in the spa, and they had a 5-hole golf course on the property, and also delicious breakfast. Lindsay felt really safe because all of our hosts are trained with information on how to be a good host, including tax and legal compliance in New Zealand. And she also really liked our toiletries and lovely stationery and branded dressing gowns. Look After Me was established in 2011, and we got an early lift from the Rugby World Cup, and we now have rooms all over New Zealand. We've been through quite a few iterations, which included our market validation process while we were learning about what our guests liked. And recently, just a few months ago, we launched our Mark III version, and we're testing it here in Dunedin on a new platform, Stay Dunedin. And what's special about it is that it can be booked from a mobile-friendly device, and it's bespoke tourism software where you can browse and book accommodation like you would any other hotel room. And these are some of our other guests. There's Sue. There's Sue in the top corner. She was travelling for a wedding. This group down here was travelling for a cycle trail in Rotorua. This family was interested in learning about New Zealand culture and family, Chinese family. Oh, this is Layla. She started a job in Taupo, so was looking for accommodation. This is Debbie in Mount Maunganui. Carmen was just recovering from surgery and needed someone to look after her. And Ash, who was travelling on a business conference. And here's Lindsay, and here's what she said. It's probably the best value I've ever had, and I would definitely stay there again. And now she's booked her whole sales team to stay with Look After Me wherever they are in the country. Ash said he was blown away, and Mary, who was travelling with her granddaughter, said she was getting addicted to staying at Look After Me. When we did our market research about 10 years ago, we realised that the world was getting older, and they were becoming more technologically savvy, and there was this new wave of businesses predicted where people would start spending money on doing things rather than having things, and that was giving rise to the experiential economy. What we didn't realise was that, as well as that, there would be this tidal wave of peer-to-peer networks, or this shared access economy. And this is now very significant, worth about $15 billion in 2014, and it's absolutely exploding globally, and it's expected to be worth $335 billion by 2025. The other really interesting statistic is that 82% of all travel bookings are made by women. So for us, this could be a great big global opportunity. In terms of the New Zealand tourism industry, we've had great support from the former Minister of Tourism, who thought it was a good idea. The chair of the board thought it was fantastic, and the former CEO of Tourism New Zealand said we're already better than Airbnb. In terms of how it works, it's a typical two-sided marketplace. For example, Trade Me, they get their revenue from both their buyers and their sellers. Now, when we first got going, we also wanted to have a two-sided marketplace, securing revenue both from our guests and from guest bookings, and also from our hosts. But when we first started, we didn't actually have the right tourism software to do that. So in the early days of bootstrapping our business, we just started with an advertising fee from our homeowners. And our growth in terms of our guest nights has been quite steady. In fact, we've looked after 12,500 of people like Lindsay. And you can see that our growth has been, in terms of the guest nights, quite steady and consistent. And if we were to secure investment, the green bar indicates the number of guest nights we would be likely to have. Our revenue has been very modest, but grown 130% year on year. And in terms of our net profit, Startup Bill has been quite challenging, and I personally have invested nearly $100,000 of my own money into this concept and secured about $75,000 from investors along the way. Our net profit has grown steadily for about 180% year on year, and we've just made our first profit. So now we're actually a proper two-sided marketplace, and now we've just built this new bespoke tourism software where we can actually get some of our revenue from 10% of every guest night, and we've still got a small activation fee for our homeowners. And this means that our potential revenue, it changes the landscape quite considerably, and the blue bars predicted, so with the new technology, means that we're able to add to our revenue streams quite significantly. We realise these numbers are quite small, but if you'd like to come and see me, I can email you the drop sheet and the business plans. But for year 1 to 5, you can see here that with our new 10% commission structure, it really changes our revenue model, and most of our revenue in the future will be coming from the guest nights. And certainly changes the profitability of the company as well. In terms of our team, I report informally to a group of shareholders, and my co-director Mike has 55 years worth of experience in tourism. The guts of our team is our development team. Mike and Graham have spent 15 years developing a platform called Webfund. It is bespoke tourism software and hugely powerful. Annabelle is our lead designer, and we have a small team that helps with admin, sales and digital marketing. A competitive advantage: New Zealand is #1 in the world for how we treat our tourists. We want to capitalise on that, and one of our points of difference is all of our accommodation is hosted. We really do want to look after you, and our bespoke tourism software we're just applying it to accommodation at the moment, but it's applicable to food, beverages, tourism activities, events and that sort of thing. For investment, we're looking for two things, and they're equally important. One is $150,000 for a 5% shareholding of Look After Me on our current valuation of $3 million. But we're also looking for one, and this could come from 1 to 5 individuals who would bring skills and expertise into the company. And as I've just moved to Dunedin, that would be really helpful. What we'd like to do with this fund is employ a beachhead strategy here in Dunedin, and when we first launched, we went from 0 to 50 rooms just ahead of the Ed Sheeran concerts, and we were at 85% booked occupancy. So we would like to develop a replicatable system where we grow fast here in Dunedin and then apply that to other areas around New Zealand, perhaps Rotorua or Napier. And we've also, part of that strategy is to attract guests. So we've got 4 key areas where we'd put the funding. One is around the platform itself, to finish building the review system. People, we'd be looking at employing a business development manager to grow the two-sided marketplace. We'd like about 30k for working capital for executing our well-defined marketing plans and also developing other revenue streams. And of interest could be that we almost can white label our software, and like for example could partner or JV with Pack and Save, and there's you can see Pack and Stay, or with the Marae Association, and rent out maraes around the country, Manaki Mai, greens, green, eco, gay friendly, whatever. Our exit strategy is reasonably well defined, and we've identified 4 different sectors who might be interested in acquiring a business like this eventually. So if you are interested in a return on investment, I invite you to come and have a conversation with me. I'm happy to share the drop sheet and business information with you. This is likely to be our only and last investment in the company as we move into profitability. So I'd really welcome this opportunity and to join this exciting travel revolution. Thank you.
So we've probably got time for one question, if there's one question out there. I thought it was so comprehensive, I'm not surprised you've got no questions. Well done.
It might be quite good to explain how you, because I love the part about your business, how you match people with people. Is that something you still do?
Yes, so Look After Me specialises in matching people based on their, particularly on their interests. So if you are interested in golf, we'd like to match you with other golfers, or if you're interested in cycling, other cyclists, and that's, we really specialise in like-minded people. It is an important part of our business. So yeah, great question. Thanks, Carmen.
What's your average demographic?
So we have a two-sided marketplace. So our host demographic, 95% of our customers are aged over 55 and generally under 70. The children have left home, they are house proud, have beautiful homes, and are ready to share them. For our guest demographic, it's much more varied. So, for example, Ed Sheeran brought us a lot of teenagers travelling with their mums and dads. That's not a normal market for us. So all of those photos I showed, they were our real customers. They weren't just images, they were actually real customers. So we have had a tendency, I suppose, to be favoured by women who book the accommodation and might be travelling with their husband or partner, and we've done that quite deliberately. But we do have we're at the idea stage. This is fully applicable to other markets, so budget friendly, Māori, eco, gay friendly, that sort of thing.
Awesome. Thank you. Well done.